Hello again and welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. Today we're going to be taking a look at Zagara for her future patch update. I'm not exactly sure the format I'm trying to go for with these. I tried to throw them in a little bit with my Storm Talk formats and that didn't quite seem to feel right. Since these aren't really big, like you're changing the concept of how you play the character, these are closer to look at some new things with this character. So let's see if this one feels any better. So, Zagara. Mostly, Zagara is still a specialist. She hasn't had any major game-breaking changes, or majorly game-altering changes, although she does have a few strategy changes. For one, you might notice her Q is now a single Baneling spell, where you can shoot multiples of them. It also has a rather fast cooldown. Hunter Killer and Infested Drop are exactly the same. Well, not exactly, but close enough. And Creep Tumor has a major change. Instead of healing you, it now gives you an additional attack range.
We move.
So this changes Creep Tumor slightly from being thrown in the bush and kind of, I'm going to sit up here and heal a little bit, to being closer to being put in the bush for assassinations, or being put in the back so you can hide behind the minion wave and get those long-range snipes. Anyway, let's go ahead and start talking about her new talents. So, at level 1, Volatile Acid, Banelings travel faster, and do bonus damage to non-heroes. Pretty basic, pretty simple. Corpse Feeder reduces the cooldown of Infested Drop, and Roachlings take 40% less damage from non-heroic sources. I prefer this one, because one thing you might have noticed, and I have to say, Banelings no longer have health, which means that Banelings no longer count as a target. However, Roaches do. So, 40% less damage, or Roaches taking 40% less damage from forts, makes them much more valuable just for using up the ammo. Like, yeah, they do more damage, obvious, as well, but, like, no, you're dropping these fuckers, so they waste that ammo. That, and minus 3 seconds left cooldown, yeah? Why wouldn't you ever do that? Okay, at level 4, Envenom Spines. Instead of having a small passive poison, she now has a one-shot, one-hit Envenom spell. Has a 30-second cooldown, and it does 700 damage at over 5 seconds at level 30. I mean, Envenom's not very powerful, but it is kind of that it might tip the scales type spell. I don't really like it personally. You'll see why in a moment. Medusa's Blades, basically exactly as it used to be. And next, we have Serrated Spines. Each basic attack increases Zagara's attack damage by 0.3.
Our vengeance will be complete.
So, I don't even have to kill a fucker. I don't have to kill minions or anything like that. I just have to sit here and poke a hero. It doesn't have to be a good poke. It doesn't have to be a strong poke. This has to be a poke. Throw out a couple of spells just to kind of get some of these minions off me. But just in that short time, let's go ahead and turn it off now. In that short amount of time, I just went up 8 damage. I didn't even kill him. That's pretty good. At level 7, Baneling Massacre. Zagara, it gains 2 additional Baneling charges. Up to 6. It's pretty nice. Viscous Acid. Baneling's now slow for 1.5 seconds. It's not horrible. I wouldn't say it's good, but it's not horrible. However, then you have Vile Drop. Increases the impact damage of Infested Drop by 50%. Each hero hit by impact increases the damage by 10%. Upon reaching 150, the impact radius is increased by 20%. So basically, nothing else, that's plus 50% damage on what you're most likely going to be using this on, buildings. However, if the enemy has a Sergeant Hammer, or you got really good at landing some of these, you just land 10 of them. I just missed one. You now also have 20% increase of that radius, as well as 150% bonus damage. At level 10, we're going to take Nidus Network, because Nidus Network now has a new passive. It increases your creep speed by 25%. While on creep, your basic attacks now also give you regeneration. Or cooldown reduction. Regeneration. Oh, that's great. Now there is a bug right now where dropping a dropping a tumor does prevent your shift commands from working, so you can't have multiple commands. And as you can see, that doesn't really do that for anything else. We have unlimited mana. As you can see, as well, they seem to have removed the limitation on how many worms you can have up at any given time. Or I guess not. It's still there. It's totally still there, but as you can see, it's drastically increased. I think it used to only be like 4 or something like that. Although, being within the Nidus Network still comes out to the same. You can click it and click somewhere on the map, and it will send you to the nearest worm, or you can go specifically to one worm. When a creep tumor dies, the Nidus Network, or the Nidus worm that is on that creep tumor, just has its own creep. Like, they have their own creep similar to in-game, so while you can only place them on creep tumors, you can't place them anywhere now, you can still throw, like they have creep, and because they have creep, they kind of replace creep tumors after a little while. I mean, you still need to throw up creep tumors, drop them, but yeah. Just think, rushes. I don't know. But anyway, what's great about this is the second passive. Every time you attack, it lowers the cooldown by 1 second. So if we're using Hunter Killers, for example, Hunter Killers last for 8 seconds. By the time you're ready to lose your Hunter Killer, you have another one up and you're able to auto-attack. Yeah, that's kind of a big deal.
Cunning.
Now, if we continue to level 13, Hydraless Transfusion. Zagara has healed 75% of damage dealt by Hunter Killers. This is kind of a big deal because Hunter Killers are one of your primary damage abilities. Now, I haven't been taking this one lately, or the couple of times I've tried her. In this test realm, I haven't taken Hunter Killer Transfusion, so I haven't really felt the need for it. I haven't been being harassed too much. For the most part, I'm only getting 1 or 2 hits. Like, people are not focusing me. I'm getting 1 or 2 people chasing me, and I'll either jump in a worm and get out, or just walk away, because you do get that 20% speed increase. So there are very few people who can stay up with you. Also, one thing to note, Nidus worms being hurt. Like, it used to be that you became like it would keep going. Let's see if I can. How close can I get one? It used to be that you could click on it and it would go through even if you were being damaged. Damage now stops that from working, so do be careful if you do have a Nidus worm, or if you are traveling through Nidus worm. However, if you can get into a Nidus worm, you're good.
Quest begins.
I don't know which ones are dying at the moment. As we can, so I like protective coating. That 20% damage when you're on creeps, or 20% damage reduction when you're on creeps, is amazing. And you should never not be on creep anymore. With the way it used to be, you'd kind of like retreat into creep, and now you want to be on creep when you attack, because if you're not on creep, you're taking a massive hit to your attack range. You're taking a massive hit to your DPS because your cooldowns are off. Like, it's shit. You shouldn't get off creep, ever. So, protective coating. At level 16, Brood Expansion. Reduce the cooldown for Hunter Killers by 6 seconds. Corrosive Saliva. When used against heroes, Hunter Killers now deal an additional amount of damage equal to 2% of their maximum health. And Mutalisk. Hunter Killer now spawns a Mutalisk. Mutalisks have a bounce attack and do not have time to life. I'm kind of stuck between this one, because Mutalisk, when you get really good with them, can get you something like this. Just gonna attack here. I'm gonna hit on toggle cooldown just for a little bit, or just kind of. Like, yeah, you got enough time. I mean, more realistically, you're ending up in a situation where you're like... Remember that when you attack on creep, you do bonus damage. Or, I mean, you do bonus cooldown reduction. So this is a over-exaggeration, but not by as much as it should be. But if you can get a good, nice little lane push, you drop a couple of those. Drop something down to stop them from aiming at your Mutalisks. And I've gotten out about 4 Mutalisks since, like, I got out about 4 Mutalisks in the time it took for him to, or since I turned off toggle cooldowns and attacked him. Like, having 4 to 5 Mutalisks up at a time? Holy hell! On the other hand, let's go ahead and reset talents. This is simple enough one. Also, ironically, that doesn't disappear when you take away its ability, or the ability to have it. That is probably something that should disappear. Or have a button to clear out minions and stuff like that. But let's even take Hydralisk Transfusion a little bit, so we can show that off as well. Not bad. But also with Brood expansion, as I was saying,
Without question.
it lowers the cooldown. And you're already lowering the cooldown, so this is without cooldown reduction. And this is all single target damage. Now, I do like the fact that Mutalisks can have more, but the chances that you're going to have as many, like, have multiple Mutalisks up at a time is really rare. However, on certain maps, the one where you gotta kill a fuck ton of little midgets to get out the Punishers, like the little tiny demons to get your Punisher out, seriously, you drop 3 or 4 Mutas in there. Like, you can drop 3 or 4 Mutas in there and win. Anyway, continuing. At level 20, Fury of the Storm, the same. Tyrant Maw, the same. Endless Creep. Creep Tumors have an increased lifespan of 2,000%, so I think they last for cast range of Creep Tumors is 2,000%, and they now last for 600 seconds, as opposed to normally lasting for 240. So that's 10 minutes. And the cast time is 2,000% larger, and you also gain an additional 20% movement speed. So,
Mutation complete. Agreed.
full mount speed, like, no difference. Full mount speed, and also I can lay a tumor, like, anywhere.
We move.
Like, you wanna see me do something stupid? I just dropped a tumor in the middle of the enemy base, and then tumored to it, and then jumped to it. Oh, that one survived. Like this is how ridiculous that is. I could throw a worm up here just to piss this off real quick. Throw in a couple of these. Start going at it. And remember, I don't have cooldowns toggled, so I just took out a fort in no time by with a cheap snipe. Like, that would piss off anyone. So yeah, this is the new Zagara. Go ahead and get rid of some of these worms, actually. One problem is you do automatically start walking towards your worms when you drop them. And I don't think this is actually helping me get rid of my worms, because I'm not maxing out the number. Well, it did help out a little bit. So yeah, infinite range on your, or damn near infinite range on your creep tumors. Like, this is about the middle of the map, and I did not notice how unbalanced this map was.
Yes.
There we go.
As you say.
Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cut off now because now I'm starting to just bullshit around a little bit. I hope this was a slightly interesting look at Zagara's new update. It's kind of fun because she's changing from a punch and then jump character to a kind of fortified fighter. So instead of running in, taking a couple of punches, and then stepping back and hiding, she's turning into like a person who's constantly moving forward, trench warfare style. You take a step forward, you entrench yourself, you fight, you win the position, you take a step forward, you entrench yourself, fight, win the position. Hope you had fun, hope this was informative, and have a wonderful day.